To come on in. I had to reconnect. Come on in. Come on in. Come on in. Like the video, like, share, and subscribe. I had to restart a second live due to internet connection issues. Come on in. Come on in. Like, share, and subscribe. Like, share, and subscribe. Come on in. It is pardon season. It is pardon season. It is a season of awakening. Many people are awake. Welcome, welcome. Double tap the screen, like the video. We are talking. Hey, Pam. Excuse me. Like the video. Double tap the screen. We are talking all things Donald J. Trump, all things Todd and Julie Grizzly. Hello, just say when. Welcome. Double tap the screen for those of you as you're joining. I restarted a new live, had internet connection issues today. They messing with my live stream, so I'm having to do multiple lives to get out the message, but that's fine. I'll do what I need to do to get the message out. Come on in. We're talking all things Donald J. Trump, the pardons that he's doing. Let me know. Are you here for the pardons? As president, you do have the choice, the decision. You do hold the decision surrounding who's going to get pardoned versus who's not. And today, what I've been talking about is the background of those who are getting pardoned. I feel like a lot of things right now that's taking place with our current administration, the biasness, the discrimination, it's very apparent. It's very apparent, and whether or not you want to say it or acknowledge it, it doesn't take away that it's a thing, whether you say something is a thing has no bearing on it being a thing. And from what I'm seeing right now, Trump is very biased. He's very biased to white Christians. Uh, he's yeah, he wants to look out for his people, and it's very apparent as the people who do not look like him get a different type of treatment. It is what it is. No matter how you slice it and dice it, is what it is. What I've come to see, many of us have come to see, is that the rules that apply to me as a black person, the rules that apply to a brown person, are not the rules that apply to a white person. And for me, it became very apparent when he allowed for the South Africans to come over here a couple of weeks ago. And he said, hey, they're over there getting taken advantage of, being mistreated, being killed. Who else have similar stories like that? Black and brown people who've come over here from other countries have those same type of stories where they're getting arred, they're getting beat, they're getting unalived. So why is it that we can acknowledge their cries and say, you know what, yes, you need to be over here because it's just not safe over there. But when it comes to black and brown people, it's just like, well, we can't afford to take care of you here. So we just don't wish you the best and send you on your way. We wish you the best and send you on your way because we cannot afford it. We can't afford to take care of you here. So you have to go back to where you came from and just work it out, figure it out. Okay. This is what he said earlier this year. Many of us was like, okay, yeah, I mean our debt, you say it's in the trillions, it's crazy, it's ridiculous. You're right. We can't afford to take on anyone else. Like, you're right. Fast forward to May. Well, the South Africans are coming, and yeah, they're going through it. They're being mistreated. They're getting the land taken from them. They're dying. Like, wait a minute. I thought we couldn't afford to take on anyone else. Well, yeah, but it's just not right how they're being treated. But there are people who've been here that came underneath the Biden administration who said that they were also being mistreated in the places where they came from. So what's the difference between their story versus the story of the South Africans? What's the difference? You're dealing with people who are not happy with whatever the conditions are, where they come from, where their home is. That's the case for a lot of people. In January, you were like, hey, it's not enough. Like, we can't afford you. Sorry that things not working out for you at home, but we don't have it. Our debt, we can't afford to take on all that. We can't afford to take care of you anymore. We did it for a long time. We just can't afford it anymore. And I believe, yes, I believe, yes, our country, we got so much debt. No, we can't afford to be everything for everybody anymore. So many people here in the U.S. are struggling. So many. Thank you so much for the super chat, Black Ape. So many people are struggling. So it's a slap in the face when he allows for white South Africans to come over to our country while we got American people of all skin tones, races, religions that are here struggling. They can't get jobs. Or if they do have a job, they're struggling to work enough hours to get enough hours to bring home a check that can cover everything. A lot of people are struggling. I talk about, you all, like in Las Vegas, I just learned like there are literally people living underneath the ground, like in the sewer. Like, so y'all know when you walk in the strip on the sidewalk and you ever walk in and you see the metal, whatever, the covers that's on the sidewalk and it got the holes in it. Sometimes you may feel some air or some heat coming out of it. Y'all, like there's like a community. There are people living down there. Look it up. Anything I talk about on here, go do your research. Look that ish up. I watched a special on it. There are over 1,000 people that are living underneath the ground in Las Vegas, underneath the strip down there. There's a whole community of people living down there. They're homeless. They said they're down there because one guy, his story was how I started, and he lived down there for 5 years. He was like, how I started to live down here is because the homeless shelter back in like 2020, he was like, it was full. So when people were getting turned away, I started following like where they was going. Like, okay, where are these people going? Because the shelter's full. So let me follow and see where they going. And that's how he got led to underneath the ground. And he called that home for 5 years. 5 years. So the next time you walking down the strip in Las Vegas, stop and look down. Stop and look down. And if you got a few dollars, stick it in the little holes. Remember I told you you have the little metal things that's on the ground where it got the holes in it, drop a few dollars down there. There are people down there. It's a true story. It's out there. It's out there. It's out there. So you got stories like this taking place, but though Trump can talk about, well, the white South Africans they can come over here because they get land taken away from them. They get knocked upside the head, even though that's to the contrary of what the South African leaders are saying that's taking place over there. When a week ago, when the leader of South Africa came over to the White House, Trump played a video for him that was supposed to, prove his point about how bad things are over there. He played a little video. Did y'all watch it from the Oval Office? He told him to hit the lights. He played the video. And it was like a compilation video. So you had different black South African people over there chanting, saying whatever. I didn't understand what they were saying, but basically it was insinuating that they were saying things that just was hateful things against white people. So we'll go with that. So remember, they're just words. In the video, it did not show not one time anyone doing any harm to anybody at all. White, black, there was no harm done. It was just words, chanting. And at the end, there's a road, and then there's crosses along the road, white crosses side by side. It's like a lot of them. I couldn't even tell where it begins or where it ends. So it's a road, and then on each side of the road, you had these crosses, the white crosses lined up beside one another, and then you got the cars on the road just parked to the side. Trump's story, the story Trump told in regards to that image, that piece of the footage, was that every cross represented a white South African, a white farmer whose land was taken. This is what he told the people while he was in the Oval Office. Remember, he said apartheid was taking place. So the South African leader was like, where is that at in South Africa? Because I ain't never seen that before. You talking about it's someplace out in South Africa that got a bunch of crosses along the road? Like, this man was like, I know you're not trying to play in my face. Y'all know how, what your home area look like. So if somebody try to show pictures and stuff of what home is, you're like, where is that at? Because I know this place inside and out, and I ain't never seen that street, that neighborhood. Where is that? That was the type of energy that this leader had, because he was like, he'd never seen that. Well, y'all, he says, let me sit here before I jump ahead. The South African leader did not recognize this place that was supposedly South Africa. So he said, Trump, like, where is that? Because I ain't never seen this before. It's the way it looked. It's not something you miss. Like, y'all, it was hella like a bunch of crosses. Trump said, oh, I don't know, somewhere in South Africa. What? He said, I don't know. He dismissed it just like that. Y'all, go watch it. I don't know. It's somewhere in South Africa. So then the South African leader goes on to say, well, okay, well, Trump, white farmers are not being marked over. Like, this is not happening over. Well, yes, it is. What are you saying? I just showed you the footage. I just showed you the images. Are you saying, these are lies? Yes, it is. They are having their lives taken in their land. He was like, this is when I got off. Y'all, this was my like most recent, like the real deal Holyfield F around and find out moment. Like, it was this. Everybody got their moment. I'm gonna tell y'all what my moment was. So the leader, black guy, very calm. Like, a lot of people talk about, like, how just cool and chill he was as he talked to Trump. So he's like, Trump, okay, well, no, this isn't happening. But here's the thing, Trump. Black people and white people, well, let's say this. Remember with the chanting, he showed the video footage of chanting. The black leader was like, here's the thing, Trump, we have freedom of speech in South Africa. We have freedom of speech. Those things that those people were chanting, our government do not support that. But they had every right to chant that because we have freedom of speech, just like the freak we got in the US. So South African leader said we have freedom of speech. So there's that. His next point was, well, Trump, we have both blacks and white people in South Africa who die. And it's unfortunate. And Trump, here's the thing. It's more black people in South Africa who is dying than it is white people. Do y'all know Trump looked this man in the face and said with a straight face, but white farmers are dying. It was that for me, because what he just heard that man say, you don't start your next statement with a but. Because when you start your statement with a but, it dismisses what was said. Remember, the black leader said, Trump, black people and white people are dying in South Africa. There's actually, but white farmers are dying. What that told me, you all, what I heard was that I don't care that your people are dying more. I don't care. If there are 10 white people dying, I care about that. That's what hit me, y'all. That was my moment. I said, oh, he made it by him saying, but white farmers are dying. It said white lives are more important than black lives. Because why else would you start your statement with but? But white farmers are dying. So he's like, well, so to me, what I heard was, okay, yeah, y'all black folks be dying. Okay, so what? I mean, y'all die all the time. But us white people, we don't do that. We don't need to be dying. So that's a whole problem. So that's why we had to get them out of here, get them up from over there and bring them over here, because ain't no white people should be dying. I hear you're saying more black people dying, but no white people need to be dying. They need to come over here. That's why he started his statement with, but there was no other way for me to interpret that, because he should have, if he did start with but, it should have been, but no one should be dying. Not, but white farmers are dying. I don't know how the hell else y'all you slice it and dice it. I don't know. I don't know how else you slice it and dice it. It was very evident to me in that moment that we have a leader who puts a higher value on white lives. We have a leader who puts a higher value on white lives, regardless of where they are. It's loud and clear. White people are even peeping game. You have white people who are speaking out against him allowing for the white South Africans to jump the line on citizenship and just come over here when they're sending true refugees back home. The white people, there are white men calling this ish racist, saying, no, he's only allowing for them to come because they're white. I have a problem with that. These are white church men who are saying that. They're saying, after I don't even want to be a part of whatever he got going on with his because there was like this white like church. I don't know if I think they were maybe an apostle church, but they would partner with the government when it came to like providing supports for the refugees. The church said, we are not helping these white refugees because they're not true refugees. These are just white people that you decided to bring over here. So we are not using our resources, our time, we're not doing it. And if it means that we have to forfeit receiving federal funds, then so be it. So be it. We'll make a way. We'll make a way. But we're not going to take your money. We're not going to take your money and then you try to dictate to us who we need to help, how we need to help, when we see what you're doing. We see that you're wanting for us to utilize the resources for people, for white people that look like you. And it's not about them coming from this severe struggle, you're painting this narrative that's not true. It's not true. And we're not with it. So I'm a black person speaking this way, but you all, there's white people who are also speaking the same way, because it's very clear and it's very evident. It became that much clear and evident that it was about race when he allowed for the white South Africans to come over. And from what is being reported is that there's tens of thousands who are lined up to come over. There's more. It was about 50 that came on the first flight, but there are more to come. And you all know when they came, what was waiting for them at the airport? Resources, someone there for medical, someone there to help them when it comes to getting the food, um, clothing, baby items. You all, when they got off the plane, everybody, all the resources, the outlets, everything that they need for survival, it was just waiting for them. So y'all know how sometimes you be like, oh Lord, I gotta go to the unemployment office on Tuesday. I gotta go try to get some Medicaid and go apply for that. I gotta go there on Thursday. No, these people, when they got here, these resources, it was already waiting for them. So there was no them having to go and make an appointment and stand in line like anybody. No, these people were just waiting for them. Waiting for them to give them the resources that us as American people pay into. To give the resources that many of us American people have gotten denied. How many of you have ever tried to apply or to get resources and you were denied? Try to get EBT, try to get Section 8, try to get Medicaid, whatever resource that you feel like you have paid into time and time again, and you got a no, you got a denial. It's very disheartening when you learn that people who are not from here and people who have not paid into these resources get the yes, get the approval. And guess who else is getting it? The white South Africans. They also get $1,200 a month. For a year, they're getting $1,200 a month. They're getting subsidized housing. Y'all, you can look all this ish up. Y'all know that nice little pretty red carpet that they laid out for Trump when he went over to the Middle East, a week or two ago? This is the type of red carpet that was laid, but his was purple. So that pretty carpet that was laid out for Trump, that's the carpet that was laid out for the white South Africans. So as they talk to us about this growing debt that they want us Americans to pay to get under control, they still find ways to spend the money on non-American people. Make that make sense. You talking to me about the debt is crazy, how I need to pay student loans back, this, that, and the third, but you're spending the money on people who are not from here, on people who are not paying into these resources. But you're looking at me, or those of you who are on this live, who are who are American citizens, they're looking at us, the government is looking at us to pay down this debt. These white South Africans, they ain't looking at them for a dang thing. They just want them to come over here, run farmland, take over farmland, make babies, vote Republican. Like, it's not a lot that they're requiring for these people to do. It's about their presence. Because Trump, y'all, he's been on record talking about how the birth rates are low. You can't tell me that white South Africans coming over here isn't a benefit to him for the purpose of just population, with increasing the white population. The white population, y'all, in comparison to black people, the way we have babies and things, we do it at higher numbers. So y'all notice, like they say, in black neighborhoods we got the abortion clinics, but in white neighborhoods they got the fertility clinics. Why? Because we don't need fertility clinics in our communities. The black woman, we as a collect, we don't have those fertility, we don't have fertility problems like that of like the white woman. That's just, it's just not an issue for us. So the numbers for the white population is not growing rapidly enough. Trump got to get that number up. He got to get that number up. And them white South Africans over there, listen, they get into it. They popping them babies out regardless of how poor they are. I watched a documentary on South Africa. Them people, they showed a community that was like a equivalent child, was damn the worse than a trailer park here in the USA. Them people had little bitty kids. They got one knee high, and then the woman gonna have one in the oven. What I came to see is that regardless, and this is just what I've taken notice, period, even here in the US, to me, the people who are the most challenged economically, to me, I find that they pop out, they tend to try to procreate the most. You ever notice that? Like the ones to where they can't really afford them kids like that, but they popping them out. Whereas the ones who kind of understand like the true value of money, like hell nah, 2 is enough, 3 is enough. But the ones who ain't got the money, they pop them out like they free. They popping them out like they free. That is what I saw in the documentary over in South Africa. Them white poor people, they was popping them babies out. So you cannot make me believe that part of with him wanting them to come over here does not have to do with the population. With him saying, hey, y'all come over here, but I need for you to continue. Listen, we need to grow this population. How y'all know I ain't lying? He had the baby bonus. He just was talking about. Subscribe and follow my channel, y'all. I share information that they don't put out like that. This isn't no mainstream media platform, so I'm not censored. I've talked about on this channel the baby bonus, where he threw out there the proposal to where what he would like. It hasn't gotten passed, but the baby bonus would be an offer of $5,000, ladies, if you have a baby. Now, what the freak can you do with $5,000? Because he didn't say it was no recurring type situation. To me, it's given one and done. Here your Keisha, here go your $5,000. Brenda, here go your $5,000. How long will it take for that $5,000 to be gone after you got to pay daycare? I ain't even got into diapers and formulas and clothes and stuff. I'm just saying daycare alone. How long $5,000 is going to last? That's the baby bonus. But in the Big Beautiful Bill Act, y'all, he has a part in there, and I talked about it on my channel when I won. There was a live last weekend. We talked about the Big Beautiful Bill. He talked about giving $1,000 to women who, for each child you have from January 1st, 2024 through 2026. Every baby you have, he will give you $1,000 to put inside of like an account. Like it's like a savings account for the baby. So as the baby grows and the money can grow in this account, when the child gets 18, they have the ability to access half of the money in this account. When they get 30, they got the ability to access all the money in the account. Look it up. Look it up, y'all. Listen, we gets to it over here. So he found a way to still try to incentivize you to have these babies. So anybody on this live, if this bill get passed by the Senate, because it's been passed by the House, so it has to get passed by the Senate. If you had a baby, if it stays in there, because y'all know when it keeps getting presented, these different leaders are kicking back. They'll be like, oh, I don't like this. Go back to the drawing board. Revise this. All right, this is cool, but you need to change this. As of right now, there is a section in the bill that will pay you $1,000 for every baby you have starting from January 1st, 2024. So he's going to retroactive it. So if any of you have a baby that had a baby since January 1st, 2024, if the Senate don't ask for him to remove that, your child would be able to be entitled to $1,000 going into an account that's going to be in there. It's out there. You said $1,000 ain't ish. Hell no, it ain't ish. 5,000 ain't ish. But y'all, this is what he's trying to do. This goes to show when I talk about how they saying the population ain't growing the way they want it to grow. This is I'm pointing these things out, you all, because it backs that. Right now, at the rate of what people are dying, we're not having kids at a fast enough rate. It's almost it's like people are dying faster than like we're growing the population, and that's not good. That's not good, especially for the white population, because like I said, the white women have more struggles when it comes to fertility than the black woman. Listen, that shit is a thing. Don't get mad at me. It's a whole thing. We don't be having them type of problems when it comes to the fertility on that level like the white woman. It's just, listen, research it. Research it. It's out there. So with bringing over these white South Africans, that's going to help with it, with increasing that white population. If they come over there and they have these babies, it's a win for him. So they ain't even got to worry about being able to afford to take care of them, because Trump like, don't even worry about that. We got you. We gonna provide you housing. We gonna provide you money every month. We're gonna provide you a job opportunity, all of that. Don't even worry about it. I just need for you to come over here and procreate and rep hard for the white race. In my research, as I've talked about with the white South Africans coming over here, I learned that there was like a interview process. So he didn't just let any white South African come over here. It was an interview process. So your views, your religious views had to align with his, which means that you were like a Christian. What was the other thing? You were conservative. But what it didn't say in there, which I'm telling y'all, I know, because it makes sense, it didn't talk about family. But you cannot make me believe that that wasn't part of the Q&A, the interview. What are your thoughts about family? Because remember, he's trying to get the numbers up. So it got to make sense for him allowing for them to come over. What are your thoughts about family? Do you plan to have more children? Because we really want to grow, we really want to, we believe in just being fruitful. So if you come over here, we can give you some farmland. You have your children, you have your family. They can help with the farmland. You have something to be able to leave to. Y'all cannot tell me that this wasn't part of the dialogue. People aren't having babies like that. The young people, so you know who's not having the babies like that? It's the young. So is that going to be your is that the Gen Z? What would be that group that's like in their 20s? They're not having babies like that. They're not having babies like that. They're like, I don't have to have a child. Like, I don't have to. I don't have to have a child. And then if they paying attention to how things are going on in the world, they see that kids cost a lot and they don't have the money. They can barely Gen Z. Okay. Thank you for that. Just say when. Gen Z. The Gen Z group, like, listen, I'm still having to hit up mama, auntie, grandma all the time, asking for cash apps and Zelles. I can't bring no baby into this world. Where we gonna live? I'm struggling as it is. These young people, they're thinking differently. They're seeing that it doesn't make sense to try to bring a life into this world right now. They're not. They moving like they got common sense. Johnny said they getting pets more than they want babies. It's cheaper. It is cheaper. They not having babies like that, and I'm not mad at them. Things cost. It lets me know that they're paying attention. They see the struggle that mama had. the daddy had, auntie, they see. They're like, what? There's so many young people who got these TikToks on social media. These the main ones out here crying about not having jobs. Y'all, check out. I posted a video last night. I did a pre-record. I did like a little compilation, about an 8.5 minute video. And it's a compilation of just like people talking about the struggle with getting a job. And it's probably maybe about four probably different stories. And probably more than half of them are like the Gen Z, like the young folks talking about it's hard. I didn't apply for 1,000. What is going on? What is going, like they're confused by this job market. They don't understand. They don't understand. They ain't never seen no ish like this. They like, what is this? This is not what I was told when mom and dad and the teacher, they pushed me to go to college. They said, go to college, come out, get a job, and take care of and support yourself. Okay, went to college, check. Apply for the job, check. Okay, why ain't nobody calling me back to interview me? A lot of them saying they're not getting callbacks. Well, why is it that after I get the interview, I'm not hearing, after getting feedback of how it went well, I'm not hearing from anybody? Like, these young folks are so shooketh. So I'm not mad at them for not wanting to procreate out here, because listen, I didn't told my husband, if we didn't have kids, because my youngest is 15, if we did not have children, baby, I'm all about common sense and reading the room. Ain't no freaking way I'll be trying to get knocked up. How am I finna feed? I can't think I'm finna pay for it on that damn baby bonus that Trump trying to let go. And damn sure the little $1,000 deposit into that ain't finna do nothing. I just wouldn't have no kids, because it has to make sense to me. It has to make sense to me. I just wouldn't have kids. So I'm not even mad. Y'all, a lot of these women out here, y'all women, if y'all ain't got no kids, don't have nobody make you feel bad because you 35, you 40, and you ain't got no child. That's a mouth that you don't have to worry about feeding. That's a mouth, that's a child, a person you don't have to worry about putting shelter. You don't have to. With all that's going on right now, don't feel bad that you don't have someone you have to worry about as y'all navigate through all this ish that's going on. It's bad.